Look, at the end of the day, and this is the first time I've actually answered a single question about what's happened in South Africa over the last couple of weeks. So at the end of the day, as a past player and a past captain, I must admit I was quite shocked to see what actually took place out on the field. The pleasing thing for me is that the guys now, it seems like this whole issue is starting to come to an end. We hear this morning that now David Warner's also accepted his sanctions that Cricket Australia have placed on him, so that means all three of the guys have accepted the sanctions before them, so Bancroft 9 months and obviously Smith and Warner 12 months each. So it seems like it is starting to come to an end. Look, when I was back at home a week and a half ago, if you think it was big news over here, it was just, it was astronomical how big an issue it was in Australia, and rightly so. We as Australians, we like to play the game hard, but we like to play the game fair, and our fans expect that Australian players play that way. And I think the reaction back in Australia was as big as it was because I think the Australian public felt that the Australian players hadn't played the game in a fair way. So I think that's why their reaction was as big as it was. As I said, it seems it's like it's coming to an end, and that's a good thing for the game's sake. It's a good thing for the players' sake as well, that they can try and get away from it all now, as hard as that's going to be for them. But it's also a good thing for cricket in Australia as well, that now that Test series is over, the guys have got a few weeks to get away from it all and then start rebuilding what has sort of collapsed for them over the last couple of weeks. The cultural issue for me is really a really interesting thing, because if you wind the clock back just a couple of months when Australia won the Ashes like they did, there was no talk about cultural problems or issues whatsoever. So I think a lot of the time these cultural things can be blown out of proportion. They can be spoken about a lot when the reality inside the dressing room is completely different than what is actually spoken about all the time. And I honestly feel on this occasion that the cultural stuff that's been spoken about has probably been blown out of proportion to a certain degree. Look, I think it's hypothetical what my stance on it would have been. I think there's a very big picture there for the World Game's sake, and Cricket Australia, I think, have reacted to what the World Game pretty much demanded. The World Game and the Australian public demanded that these players were dealt with and treated in a certain way. Now, it would appear that 12 months bans, that would appear to be a very severe ban. If you think back to what the ICC sanction was, the ICC sanction was for one game only on Steve Smith and nothing for the other two. So you can understand that 9 months for Bancroft and 12 months for the other guys it's a vast gap, or a vast difference between what the ICC deemed fair. So look, I'm not going to comment on what I would have done, because I wasn't there, I wasn't part of it, I didn't see it. I know as much of what you guys know, so I think it'd be unfair for me to comment on that. Well, if they think I've been aggressive so far, I haven't even started yet. I think I've tried to be more motivational than anything else. I've just tried to sort of get my points across to the team of how important the team culture and team environment is, and how important hard work is in being well prepared for every single situation that might arise in a game. That's the way I've tried to coach. We've been here for 7 or 8, 9 days now. We have worked hard. We've had a couple of practice games, one which was a great success last night. I think it was 222, played 219, so it was a pretty good game of cricket last night. But the boys have worked hard. They've enjoyed the work that we've done. I think we've been really specific with the way that we've trained. We've got guys understanding the roles that they're going to be playing in our team, which is also important in this T20 game. But more importantly, I want the guys to work hard, but I want them to enjoy what we're doing. And so far, the enjoyment has definitely been there. And we need to take that on the ground. I think just listening to Gotham then, we've got a change room of 25 players that are very lucky to be there. They've got to understand how lucky they are, and when they get their chance to play, they've got to give their absolute all to win games for Delhi, and that's the bottom line. So that's what I'm all about. I'm here to win. I'm here to win the IPL. I'm here to get this group of players as well prepared as they possibly can be for every challenge that we have, and with the skill that we have in our dressing room, I'm sure we can win a lot of games along the way. So that's all I'll be talking to the boys about, and maybe there might be a bit more aggression as the series goes on. What I can tell you about Sandeep is he's a very skillful young cricketer. He's a very skillful leg spin bowler. He's got an incredible attitude. He wants to bowl all day, every day. In fact, we've had to, certain training sessions, have to tell him to stop bowling because he's just bowling too much and getting himself a little bit tired. But look, he at the auction, we talked about him. We felt that to get the right overseas spinner in our squad would be great backup for someone like if Mishra happened to go down. It gives us a great option as well with a highly skilled young leg spinner. And right now he's not the finished product. He's still a work in progress. But we're all excited to have him around. You know, what are the chances of him playing? I'd say he's got a good chance of playing at some stage through the IPL, and I think it's really important that he understands that as well, so he continues to be really energetic and upbeat about the way he trains and prepares. And if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's bowled well in the practice games that we've had, so look, he's a good chance of playing at some stage, and I've really enjoyed working with him so far. I think that's our natural instincts. Our natural instincts are to get ourselves into a fight and then hopefully win it. I mean, when I say a fight, it's the battle on the field, right? We were both batsmen. We wanted to win the contests against the bowler and against the opposition, and I actually love seeing that come out in players. You know, it means that they are very, very competitive, and they'll do what they have to do to win games. So I think we'll balance ourselves out really well. You know, whether we played much against each other, whether we didn't play much against others, it's the attitude that we now bestow upon the others that's going to be really important. So look, there'll be a lot talked about us playing aggressive cricket just because I'm the coach. Like that, it's already been spoken about now. We haven't even spoken about playing aggressive cricket around this team. We've spoken about playing like high intensity, high energy type cricket and you know, with a never say die attitude that's hopefully going to get us across the line. So look, don't worry about the aggressive stuff. We'll have very well skilled players that will identify situations, play situations well, and hopefully win games. And I'm really excited to have the chance to work with Gotham, with the squad that we've got. I think we'll form a terrific leadership group together, and hopefully the wins will follow.